Okay. I'm the news editor for Giant Bomb. I've been reporting about games for a long time and writing about them for a long time. I went to E3 when I was 13, and I've been going ever since. So technically, I've been doing this for over a decade. But I started just like anyone else, just wanting to talk about games because who doesn't like to talk about games? And I kind of evolved into when I got to high school. I got involved in the newspaper because I had an English teacher tell me that if you want to get paid to write about something you like, journalism is a path to do that. So I got involved in the high school paper, became the editor-in-chief of that, and then kind of parlayed that into a major in college, and I majored in print journalism, and then kind of been reporting about games ever since. The nice thing is that not a lot of people do it, so I've been able to get some jobs doing that, and I'm glad to have brought a little of that to games writing.
So, a journalism degree is actually kind of rare among games journalists. How does that benefit you in your day-to-day kind of experience that maybe someone without that degree, what would they not be able to maybe do?
Really, like a degree is, just like any other degree, it doesn't guarantee you anything. It kind of provides you with access to, talented individuals that maybe you can learn something from that. I wouldn't actually really recommend people getting a print journalism degree. Like an English degree or creative writing is actually a lot more useful for because it's better to be a more distinctive writer, to have a voice, because you can pick up journalism kind of on the job. Like it's sort of, a lot of game writers do journalism by accident. Doesn't mean there aren't bad ones or better ones, but journalism is kind of something you can pick up on the go, you can learn. So really it's about finding your own voice, and writing is a good, English degree is a good way to kind of pursue that.
Are there any aspects of traditional journalism that do not apply to video games?
Yeah. So one of the big differences is that you have to work with public relations. That's sort of a big no-no in journalism, is that you don't want to deal with marketers, you don't want to deal with people that control the message, and PR makes journalists lazy because it's very easy to just take the story that the PR feeds you and sort of move on. But that's one of the things you kind of have to come to grips with in entertainment coverage, and that's true of movies, music, anything, that you're going to have to deal with PR to get access to certain people. But the nice thing is, once you've gotten access to those people, you can build relationships over the years, and you can start to back away from PR in a sense. And once you get to know people and you can kind of contact things on your own and set up your own situations, you can sort of get away from that divide because, it limits your access. They control the message, and part of journalism is kind of finding that message yourself and trying to tell as close to the truth as you can get.
Do you think that there is a kind of discord between journalists and developers? Maybe a bit of a tension there?
Yeah, games writers determine the bonuses a lot of the time for the games that are released because of Metacritic. A lot of companies have between 80 and 85 on Metacritic is what sort of determines the kind of payout that a lot of developers get. So they do take what games writers and games journalists take pretty seriously, not necessarily because they're taking what they're saying seriously, because the score at the end really impacts their bottom line on their financial well-being. So there is that tension, because that is something that affects them, other than just saying their game is terrible or is good. It's that the money they're going to bring home for their families is affected by the thoughts of writers. So it's not even necessarily that they're going to be upset if they say the game is bad. What they really want is good criticism. If they learn something from the experience, they know they made a bad game if they made a bad game. But if you can help them understand a little bit of why it was bad or where it went wrong, developers value that. So as long as if you're telling their game is bad, that's okay. Just make sure you're articulating why it's bad, and maybe they can learn something from the process.
Cool. Thank you very much.
Unfortunately, a lot of the journalism that we talk about isn't journalism. We have, and it's great because a lot of our journalism evolve out